Shalom, first of all, praise going to hell by Shem Ashai, by Shem Rokadash, the honest possible medicine, and starting elect. And today's lesson is about simply the word new or no in the scriptures. For all brothers, is very easy thing. For new brothers, and understand very common is, and break it down. So, let's start with the first one. What confuses people really is Genesis 19. And let's start at verse 1. Let's start 19, top verse. The pretext they're in Sodom. Sodom was a very weak place, very in the wicked, and started with Lot. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat at the gate of Sodom, Lot seeing them rose up to meet him, and bowed himself with his face toward to the ground. And he said, Behold now, my lords, turn ye in, I pray you, unto your servant, and tarry all night, wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go your ways. And I said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed on upon them greatly, and they turned unto him, and entered into his house. And he made a feast, and did bake unleavened bread. Basically, unleavened bread. Simplest way to say unleavened bread is tortillas, corn tortillas, really. And they eat. But before they lay it down, the men of the city, also the men, not the woman, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom compassed the house around, both old and young, all the people from every quarter, so old and young men. And they say unto Lot, say unto him, Where are the men which come unto thee this night? Bring them out unto us now, that we may know them. Now, it's like, well, may know them. What do you mean? So that word "know," it's not just means like, I'm meeting, I'm greeting them, right? So no, so here's few things, man. Few very things to keep in mind. It's one man wants to know. Now let's get to Genesis 4. And it says, 4 verse 1, and Adam knew his wife. So he never knew his wife. So wait, while we're out, the first instance of Adam and Eve, get real quick. Come on. How come I said know him in the fourth verse, right? When the first scripture answer of Adam and Eve is in Genesis 22, there's 2 and 22. And the rib which Yahweh had taken from man, made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And I said, This is now bones of my bones and flesh of my flesh, and she be called woman because she's taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother, and cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh. This is like, it's all been up. So like, this is like this race. It's all been up all one here, and both were naked, and the man and his wife knew not. They were not ashamed. So right here is basically it created Eve, right? It created Eve. So while it's two chapters later, it says now Adam knew Eve. I'll explain why. explain more real quick. Let's go back to verse 4. And Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she was conceived, and bare Canaan, and said, I have been gotten a man from the Most High. So that doesn't make so that word knew. Then Eve conceived Cain, right? Eve conceived Cain, so you give birth to Cain. So what that word means, it's not pretext, right? He knew him, basically they lay with him, and birth Cain. But what so that word means is sex. They have sex together. They become one flesh. Because that's the whole point. Become one flesh and have sex. And I'll show you another example in this. Come down to verse 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch. So two instances of the scripture where it said they knew his name. They knew his wife. They knew their wife and their big saved child. So that word "knew" really means to have sex, to have intercourse, to bear a child. Basically, that mean no means. Now let's jump back to Genesis chapter 19 and verse 5. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men which come in thee this night? Bring him out now, that we may know him. So what the men were asking, like, bring them out, so we have to fuck them. That will they basically, that what in today's language it will mean. Because truly the men of Sodom were homosexuals. So what they wanted to do with the angels that came into Lot's house that day was to have sex with them. And that what the word know/knew means in the Bible. The way to get this, man, is just through context and understanding the actual scriptures. Because it's not just to show you what it is. It's very symbolic. It's very different. Not just like plain. I'm gonna say. So that the main thing is that the word "knew/know" in certain circumstances means sex. If that argument for all praise and glory, Yahweh, by Shem Yashab, by Shem Chodesh. Till next time, Shalom.